back. I'm happy to see you again. How was everything?
Um, it's been going okay, I guess. My roommate has been coming home a little bit more, so I have been able to spend some time with her. Um, and I worked a couple days this week instead of just I think the last time we talked I only worked one day that week. So I think things are getting a little bit better. I definitely have bouts where I just cry a lot and I have my days. Like I said, I worked more this week, but the other days I just couldn't bring myself to get out of bed to do anything.
So at least you've been able to do some stuff, and there's still days where you're still feeling upset, and and that's normal to feel. I know that it's still you're still trying to move on and all that kind of other stuff. So, I just want to know. So to recap from our last session, we did the um PHQ-9 questionnaire, and you scored pretty high on that. So it was to see that it was we saw that you were dealing with depression due to the loss of your grandparents and due to since you had no motivation, that caused us to see that you were dealing with depression. And to recap, from what I know is that you still want to be able to go back to live a new normal life, to your new normal, continue living um, happily, and continue going out with your friends, being able to, move on from everything you've been going through. Am I correct?
Yeah, I want to get back to how life was. I want to be able to work as much as I want to work, and I want to see my friends more and not just cry when I see them or just cry in general. You know, I I'm sick of crying. I just want things to be normal or whatever my new normal might be.
Okay, I see. So my goal is to help you achieve that new normal, help you realize that there's always positive outcomes to what you're feeling. So this time I'm gonna introduce to you something called cognitive behavior therapy. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. So are you aware of what this kind of therapy is?
I think I've heard of it. I might have heard of it in maybe some of my like pre-rec classes in my undergrad, but I'm not familiar with it really.
Okay, so this kind of therapy is very general. It's used throughout every therapy session. This helps you understand the connection between your thoughts and your feelings and how these two components influence your behavior. All right. So the goal of this is to teach you how that to help you understand that you cannot control every aspect that happens around you, and how you're able to take control of how you interpret things and how you deal with it in your own environment. So there's a model within cognitive behavior therapy. It's called the ABC model. So the ABC model, it consists of three different stages, which connects an activating event, which is the event that happened, and then it goes on to what you believe about the event, and the consequences of your beliefs. All right, I'm not sure if you can stop me if you don't understand, but understand I could definitely explain to you more. But that's pretty much it. It's to help you realize that there's definitely other positive outcomes to this kind of therapy, and this will help you see and look that you know maybe being crying all day isn't healthy for me. Maybe I should do something else in replace of it. You know. So I'm gonna help you. Well, first of all, how do you feel about that? Are you comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I think I understand, and I think that that could be super beneficial. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, since you're dealing with the grief of your grandparents and you've been crying, you have been unmotivated, um, here we can see that from a negative perspective. So I'm gonna help you turn that into a positive. So as of right now, we both know that the activating event of what you're feeling would be the death of your grandparents, right? So
Hmm.
that activating event, what meaning does that give to you, in a way, of the death of your grandparents?
Um, well, for me, the meaning is that I am alone. I have nobody else. I have no family. They were acting as my parents for as long as I can remember, and who knows where my parents are at this point. So yeah, I mean, they were my mentors and my best friends and the people that guided me, and now they're kind of just not here anymore. So who do you turn to when the people you always turn to are no longer there?
Okay, I see that you have no one to turn to. That's what you believe that this is like. Your grandparents leaving you meanings to you means that you have nobody, that you have no one that will support you, no one that will, you know, be there for you.
Hmm.
So with you thinking that, how do you feel? What feelings do you have when you think of that? Like, what do you feel like?
Sad, sad, hopeless, depressed, lonely.
Okay, so what I just did was the ABC model. Um, that shows us that there is a negative connection between the activating event with your beliefs and the feelings you feel towards that. So let's take a step back to the activating event, right? So our activating event is the death of your grandparents, and your belief is that um, you're alone. So is there any other beliefs or explanations that may have towards you? Is there any other meaning to them, to the death of your grandparents? Do you see any other meaning to it?
Well, I mean, they were older and they really struggled with some health stuff in the ends of their lives. And I was helping take care of them both when they were, you know, about to pass. So I guess just that I have to I have to believe that there's somewhere better, that they're not in pain anymore, or they're just happier.
Okay, so you do see that there's a different alternative, that they're not suffering anymore on this earth. They're not going through whatever they were going through. You see that they may be in a happier place. They're they're free from any kind of sickness or any disease that could probably affect them or make them like suffer more on this planet. So when you think about that alternative, what feelings do you have?
I guess I would describe it as peace, like peace knowing that I did all I could do for them when they were here, and I did
Mhm.
help them when they needed help, and they were the best grandparents they ever could have possibly been. Um, so yeah, I guess just feeling peace that I did what I could and they aren't sick
Mhm.
anymore.
So do you, when you mean by peace, do you mean like, do you feel like you're relieved that they aren't um they aren't suffering anymore? Does that make you feel kind of like happy that they're in a better place now? You don't have to worry about them suffering, being in pain, no matter what they're going through. Does that make you feel kind of like happy in a way?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not happy that they're gone, but definitely relieved that they're free from all of that.
Mm.
And also relieved that I did everything that I could when they were here. Like, I don't have any regrets about our relationship or anything like that.
Okay. So, do you see like the neutral kind of correlation between, you know, your between your grandparents, um, you seeing them as they're free from any suffering or anything like that, and to how your feelings change to kind of happy, or not that they're gone, but happy that they're not suffering anymore. So there was a slight change in how you feel when you look at it a different way. So now, going back to the second part about the feelings, you said that you are alone. That you feel that you are alone. You feel that you have nobody to turn to, right? So let's bring your roommate back into this conversation. Um, the possible outcome that you've explained thoroughly so many times was your roommate. So your roommate was there, has been there for you, and you said that she's been visiting you many times for the past few weeks, correct?
Yep.
And do you feel like her being there, do you think that's another positive outcome to a situation, to your situation, that
Oh,
you're not alone, that you actually do have somebody there?
oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I have friends outside of her too. It's just that I see her the most frequently, because obviously she still is in a lease with me, so she does come home. Um, but she has been coming home more frequently from her boyfriend's house, mostly just to check in. I know it's just to check in on me and to make sure that I'm okay. And just her checking in and me knowing that that's why she's there is, that makes me really happy that I do have somebody that notices that maybe I'm
Mhm.
not doing okay, but they want me to be, so they check in.
Okay, so then, like, so you actually do have a support system in a way. May not be what it was before, but maybe this new support system could be part of your new normal. You know, maybe it's time to have some have someone that you trust the same way you did with your grandparents. And since you want to live a new normal, this person could be part of that new normal. So now that you see that you have that person, how does that make you feel now? Like, does it make you feel more ecstatic, more motivated to do things, more happy in a way?
Yeah, yeah, it absolutely does. So, the couple days that she visited me was actually the days, like the following day, were the days that I was able to go to work. So, just having somebody to talk with, and like we went and got coffee, like nothing
Mm.
crazy, but we were able to get out of the house and chat and just bond. And yeah, that absolutely makes me, the feelings associated with that are definitely happiness.
Okay. So from all the alternatives I gave you from through ABC, so now that you see that there are different possible alternatives to the way you think of a activating event, how do you feel about those different alternatives being possible?
I feel pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I think reframing that thinking a little bit made me appreciate that my grandparents were here, and I did have that relationship, because I know a lot of people don't have that. And also appreciate the friends and my roommate that I currently have, because again, I know not a lot of people have that. Um, so I guess that's how I feel, is happier, more appreciative of kind of what I do got going on.
Okay. I'm glad that you're able to realize the different possible alternatives that changes your way of thinking. So now, with um with these possible alternatives and the way you're feeling, how do you think your behavior will be, or how do you think you can change your behavior as your feelings change?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I focus on those feelings of happiness and being, or just appreciating what I have and the people that I have, I think the behavior would be, instead of my roommate constantly coming home to see me, I make the effort to see my friends, because I know that when I see them, I feel better. um, so Yeah, I think that's how my behavior would change is, and I know that when I do go to work during the day, I do feel a lot better. I typically have a pretty good day. So yeah, I think that's how the behavior would change is just creating a new schedule.
Okay, so I'm glad to see that you're able to see how how your negative perspective could turn into something very positive. Um, I don't want to assume, but it seems like you are motivated to continue thinking in a positive way and making sure that you see the brighter side of things instead of the ugly side of things. So I do hope like you're able to continue using this and continue thinking about the alternatives. Um, I do appreciate you coming back for therapy. I appreciate that's it's good to see you again. How about for next meeting? Let's see how you are without during the week thinking on a positive perspective.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works and see what motivates you and what changed throughout the week. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Great. So I will schedule our meeting, and then I hope things go well for you. I will definitely see you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Have a good day.